All right, and hello everyone. So this is going to be me trying to do a remote math lesson with a lot of tabs open. Um, yeah, it's going to be good. So I wanted to have the screen on, so you're not just hearing my disembodied voice coming through the interwebs. On the other hand, I also need to point out that I cannot wear my glasses at the computer because I'm old and I can't see things when I'm wearing my glasses on the computer. So before you laugh about that or say something about how I look weird without my glasses, remember one day you will be old and you will also need to take off your glasses when you sit at the computer. So that's what's going to be going on here for what we're going to be doing. All right. Excellent. So I want to talk about multiplying fractions using a number line, but I want to kind of go over some of the stuff that Mrs. Moorhead was talking about yesterday in yesterday's lesson. So if we take this over here and take a look at it like that, right? So I have my whole right here that has been put into fourths: 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, right? And then the idea that we're looking at, and I want to connect this with a number line as much as possible, is if we take a look at this and say, all right, so if I were to start here and kind of do a jump like this and then a jump like this. Okay, so what have I done? I've made two jumps. I went 1/4 of the way each time. I did that two times. I did 1/4 once. I did it twice, right? So I went 1, 2, right? So when I think about that, what do I have, right? That ends up looking like a pair of binoculars I was not planning to draw, but there they are. I've gone 2/4 of the way. Okay, that's one way to look at that. Now, if I clear this out and show you another way, let's use sevenths. No one ever uses sevenths. So with what we're going to look at is this idea of if I take this as a number line and I draw this like this here, right? So I'm going to draw this as a number line and I'm going to say this is 0, okay? And I'm going to go all the way here and that is R1 whole. All right, so then here I have 1/7 and then I have 2/7. Somewhat regretting my choice of fractions here, but we're going to go with it. 3/7, 4/7, 5/7. Oop. There we go. Perfect. And then now we have our 6/7 right here. All right, so what I want to do is I want to make the transition from visual model like this to number line. And I want to line them up that way so you guys can see, okay, the number line is just showing us another way of showing us as fractions, right? 1/7, 2/7, 3/7, 4/7, 5/7, 6/7. So the idea is, let's say I want to go four jumps. I'm going to call them jumps, right? And I want to go 1/7 at a time. I want to multiply these by the unit fractions. So what I'm going to look at is I'm going to go 1/7 4 times. So that's 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. So I'm going to tell you to pause it and think about this. We can pretend it's like Dora the Explorer. That's how I'm going to use this from now on, right? So do you see what fraction that would equal? Shout it out, everybody. Yeah, you're right. If you said 4/7, you're right, okay? So 4 times 1/7 is going to be 4/7. All right, let's just take a look at another one here real quick, and then we'll jump to the next thing. And we'll just continue doing this with our Dora the Explorer. I do not want to use sevenths again, or definitely eighths, because that was kind of annoying to draw that out. But it's kind of nice to see that again, when the denominator gets larger, the pieces get smaller, right? We talked about that before. So we have our 1/4. What I want to do is draw that number line underneath there. Just think of it like that. Here's my line, okay, going at 0, right? Going here, this is the one hole, and I want to label that as 1/4. I'm going to go 2/4. And then finally 3/4 right here. Okay, excellent. So if I were to say, all right, I want to make 3 jumps on this, and I want to go 1/4 at a time, I'm going 1/4 3 times. All right, Dora the Explorer time. If I was going to ask you, what would that equal? Pause and think about that. This is me pausing in case the kids aren't actually pausing and they just want me to tell them the answer. All right, so here we go. So this is our 1 time. So 1 times 1/4 would be 1/4. 2 times 1/4 would be 2/4, or 1/2, right? And then here we go, 3/4 right here. So if you said 3/4, you are spot on with that. Okay, cool. I'm going to leave this over here. I'm going to jump over to this screen, use this tool. This was the follow along notes. That's what I'm going to call them because I don't know what else to call them right now. So the very uncreative, creative title of the follow along notes, so you guys can follow along with me this way. So visual models are not just always going to be bars. So I want to show them to you like this. And what I want you to do, I want you to start out with this part right here. So what we're looking at is 6 times 1/4. So what that is saying is I want a 1/4 piece. I want that 6 times, right? So that's 1/4, that's 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. So if you imagine what I've just done, since this is also going to fourths over this way, is that I have gone past this. I have gone 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. Now back over here, that's 5/4. Right there, 6/4. Okay. Now the nice thing about this guy here is we can let's compare these 2 models here, right? So bring it up our fourths. I'm going to extend this out a little bit more because my fraction goes over 1, right? 1, 2, 3/4, 5/4, 6/4. Making the jumps. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 5/4, 6/4. So yeah, we could say, all right, as a fraction that goes over 1 whole, that is 6/4. But we can also write that as a mixed number. We don't want to forget those. So pausing here for you guys to say, all right, or we could say, what's the mixed number with that? All right, that's going to be 1 1/4. And I can hear some of you saying this now, and if we were in the room together, I know you'd be raising your hand because some of you would also be noticing that this is 1 1/2. Okay, cool. So I want you to try this next one. This is 2/3. So this is 2/3 1 time, but I want it 5 times. So pause it real quick. Try this out. All right, cool. So that's 2/3 1 time. That's 2/3 2 times. 2/3 3 times. What I'm doing is I'm circling my 2/3 so I can keep track of how many times I have them. So I have 1 set, 2 sets, 3 sets, 4 sets, 5 sets. So what I'm looking at right now is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 thirds. Or mixed number, 1, 2, 3. I have 3 wholes and then 1/3 of another one. Guys, notice the connection here. We are multiplying that whole number in that numerator right there. we're not doing anything with the denominator right now. That's the pattern. Take a look at that. We're multiplying those right there. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at some number lines here. Let's scroll down here. Look at that. Look how cool that is. I think that's awesome. Look at that. It's just magic right here. All right, so with this first equation, this is the number line. It's showing how many jumps there are, and then and showing the fractions. So looking at this first one as an example, I'm noticing that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 jumps. So how I think of it like that, the phrasing of multiplication is there, times. How many times did they have to draw that arrow? They had to draw it 7 times. All right, so then what's the fraction that we're multiplying by? Well, our number line is in thirds. I notice it goes over one whole. Here's our one whole right here. That would be another whole right there, okay? And then this would be another whole. I'm going for thirds, all right? So then we can see we had to draw those arrows 7 times, and then we're going by thirds, and that equals 7 thirds. And seeing that this is one whole here, 2. Another way to say that, I'm going to write it over here because I ran out of space. That would be 2 1/3. All right, try these two on your own. This one and this one. Try those two on your own. While you're doing that, I'm going to take a sip of some coffee here. Just pretend I'm admiring all your hard work right now. Nice done. Well done. Yeah, nice. I like what you did there. That's good. Keep going. Oh, that's good stuff. Good. All right. Nice. All right. So here we go. Let's take a look at this. You know what? I'm going to change color because I can. Look at that. Perfect. All right. So what I want to do is I want to take a look at how many times did this jump take place. So I have 1, 2, 3. Okay. So that has gone 3 times. All right. So it's gone 3 times. Now this one here, I'm not using unit fractions. Okay, what I'm looking at is here that I've gone 3 times, but what I've done is I haven't gone 1/3 each time. I've gone, how many? 2/3, right? So I'm going to go 2/3 like that. So if I go, that's 2/3, 4/3, we've gone over a whole, and now up to 6/3, just like that. Okay, doing good? All right, let's take a look at this one. How many times have we gone? How many times did we have to draw that arrow? We had to draw it twice. And let's take a look. We're not going by unit fractions. We're going by, here it looks like 4/3. Each time we make a jump, we're going 4/3. Sorry, that 3 is a mutant. There we go. Maybe better. Okay, there we go. So in this case here, we've gone 8/3. Now let's think about that 8/3 so far. We have enough to make a whole, right? So if we think about our model here and we say, okay, well that's going to be 3, and I take 3 away from that 8, then that means I have 5 pieces left over. Well, if I think about that, if I take that 5, I can take 3 out of that again, that's another whole. And that leaves 2/3 left over. So we're looking at 2 2/3 right there. Okay? Okay. Cool. So let's move this up a bit. There we go. It's ascending. Look at that. It's just going right up there. Perfect. All right. So for these, I'm going to show you a couple. And I'm going to kind of switch it up here a little bit. So this one here, it's blank. We're using 6. Notice we're going from our 0 to our 1. Okay. I'm going to draw this one, and I want you to see what the equation is. Okay, so if I do that, it's okay if you want to make little hoppy noises with it. Cool. All right, what equation did I just model there on the number line? Okay, I went 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Each jump, okay, each move, I don't know if that's the official term, but that's what I'm calling it, I went 1/6. So then that lands me at that 4/6. Notice that pattern again. Okay, look, we're multiplying the whole number with that numerator right there. Denominator doesn't change. Look, if we scroll up real quick, take a look at that pattern there. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 2 is 6. 7 times 1 is 7. 5 times 2 is 10. Right? That pattern is there. So look for those patterns. They'll make your life easier. Okay, this one here, switch it up. Let's get another color. Let's go hot pink, because why not? If I said that I wanted you to do 2 times 2/10, what would that equal? I just want to mention this before I go any further, right? Because just because I'm teaching at home doesn't mean I can't interrupt my own self here like I would do in class all the time. At any point in these math videos, use the ability to go back and rewind and watch something again, okay? That is one of the nice things about what's going on here, that unlike in class, you cannot push the pause button on us, press rewind about 15 seconds, and then press play again and hear the same thing over again. So do that. We're kind of going quick because we don't want the videos to be 45 minutes long. I don't know how long this one is right now, but use that feature, okay? All right, so I'm saying that I want to go 2 times, but I'm not going to go 1/10 at a time. I'm going 2/10 at a time. So that would be 1 time. That would be 2 times. So if you said 4/10, you are correct, and you win absolutely nothing. Congratulations, right? Good job. All right, so we have a few more here. I want to take a look at this. Looks like we only have 3 more, and then you're done. Awesome. All right, so let's do this one here. Let's change it up. Let's go back. Let's go to like this aqua tealy color. I guess I'm going to make that word up. Let's go 6 times 1/12. Okay, try that out. All right, we're going 6 times 1/12 each time. So I'm going to go 1/12 once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. Right here, 6/12. That's it. And again, I can see, and I can think of some of you raising your hand and saying, "Oh, I see that is also 1/2," right? And then if I were to go that again, right? So then if I were to say, well, what if I had a, sorry, I don't want that. Go away. Okay. If I said that I had, for example, 12 times 1/12, right? Then, well, if this is 6 times 1/12, then 6 more, that would be 12. That takes us all the way to the end, right? That's the full thing. Great. You guys are doing great. All right, let's check this out. So number lines are not always going to be perfectly labeled for us. Sometimes you're going to see them like this. Doesn't mean anything different. Just, have to stop and think, okay, what this might look like. All right, so let's kind of go to this orangey color. So notice that it starts here at 0 and it goes to 1 and then it goes to 2. So what this number line is showing us is that our fraction is going over one whole, right? So in this case, it goes 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. I can count. Good. All right. So look, this is 1/4. So let's just kind of think about this. This is, I'm not going to do this for all of them because it would be really boring for you guys to watch me do that. So that's 1/4. That's going to be 2/4. Yeah, that's our one whole. That's our half, sorry. 3/4. And then our 4/4. One whole. 5/4. 6/4. 7/4. And then 8/4. And then since it's labeled over here, might as well put it, because I don't want anyone to feel, sad for that line that it's left out, 9/4, right? But in this case, look, we're just asking that we go 1/4 2 times. Now look, yeah, maybe you notice this. Look, take a look at that equation, how that's written, and then look back at the other equations that we've worked with so far. Okay, so you'll see, no, that's the wrong thing. Sorry. You will notice, oh, now I've done it. Oh man, hold on. Old man with computers. Let's go. All right. You'll notice that the fraction and then the whole number, it's just like multiplication. It doesn't matter. If I say 2 times 4 is 8, 4 times 2, still 8. Nothing changes because of the order. So that's the nice thing about it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1/4 2 times. Well, that's once, twice, 2/4. Okay. Now for you guys, I want you to take some time here. I'm going to label that one here. That's our 1/3. This is 2/3. This is going to be our 3/3. This one right here is going to be 4/3. You label the rest of those, and then we'll go over this real quick. Do this one. Do the whole thing on that. Okay. So what they're saying here is I want to go 1/3 of the number line, and I want to go 5 times, right? So that's 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 1 whole, 4 times, 5 times. I'll label that one right there. So what we're looking at here is we have 1 whole, okay? That's going to be our 1, and then 1 2/3. Now you could also say 5/3. That is also all right. You can write it as a fraction greater than 1, okay? Or what we used to call it back in the day when I was learning this stuff, an improper fraction, but then someone changed that. That's okay. Or in this case here, we have a mixed number, okay? Just like this one up here doesn't really go to a mixed number, but we can rewrite that as an equivalent as 1/2. All right, if you don't understand this, shoot me a message, Miss Moorhead a message, Miss Johnson a message, watch this video again, go back and do an IXL. Maybe that will help you out. There's an IXL lesson that will help you out with that. But then the Google form, that's the next thing. We want to see how well you guys understand this. We've done something like that in class. Once you're finished through, you just click submit. They'll ask if you want to do another response. Don't do another response because it's not going to change unless you really want to do it again, but don't, because we will have too many things to grade already. So that's it. So I will talk to you guys later. Hope you have a great night, and we'll see you all soon.